I do want to add that while an announcement has not come out yet, I anticipate that that December graduation, may not happen since the university campus is closing on over Thanksgiving break. So if you if you are a December grad, we'll hope and pray that we can do that walk in May. Along with the May 2019 grads, the August 2020 grade, or May 2020, August 2020, and December 2020 grads will be likely walking in May as well. But we do break out the graduate and undergraduate, so it won't be too jam-packed.
The house will be full.
Or in 2027, we graduate 4,000 students. We'll just have to see. I hope not, but
Who knows? So, but yeah. So, and then the nice thing is, moving forward, you guys are going to be in classes with your cohorts or with your classmates. And as these questions come up, ask them. Even if the instructor doesn't know the answer, they can bring it back. Keep communicating with us. Know that we are working really hard and diligently to make sure that you have what you need and that you can succeed and meet your goals as well. We'll make this recording available if you want to review it, or if you want to share it with maybe a friend who's in the program. We're going to be sending it directly to them, but that would certainly be fine as well. We'll get through this together. And it's going to make an interesting year, but I think there are some, as Mike mentioned, some silver linings. So.
Sorry, really quick, just to go back to practicum.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've asked this 1,000 times and I'm sorry. Are practicums, if you're getting 7 or 8 hours in a week, is it traditionally, or has it historically been like 2 hours a day? Is it like 4 hours a day? Is it based on what your teacher decides with you?
Okay, if you're in early education and you're doing just the literacy part, you're not going to be in the same classroom all day long because that subject is not being taught all day long. So if, depends on what you set up with your teacher, your mentor teacher to observe. If you're in special education and you're looking for just literacy or just one content area, then there's a chance that you're going to see more with that your mentor, because that person is going to be pulling out just for that area on that specific day. So maybe on Tuesdays and Thursdays, like with Kyle, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Kyle may get a whole day in because the person that he is working with teaches math and science or pulls out for math and science on those days, and that's what he needs for this practicum. So it just depends on where you are. Now, when you go and do the other grade band with the math and science, if you're in 4 and 5, you may get to do a whole day because that teacher may teach specifically, like Kiernan, only math or only science, but that's what she teaches all day. So you would spend a whole day with her, that person. Does that make sense? No? Yeah? Okay, you sure? Okay.
And I would just say, when you're not sure, reach out to Kanitha or to Kara, certainly. And realize, too, that literacy is not just one, literacy happens in lots of ways. So even though, they might be working on phonics at one part of the day, another part of the day, they might be working on building background knowledge, or they may be working on something around science and social studies, which definitely has a literacy component to it. So you have to be, you think about this in a creative way. Phys ed's a little harder to claim as literacy time, right? But work with your program director, work with your mentor teacher, and just make sure there's a literacy component to all of your hours.
Can I ask for some clarification, Kanitha, about what you said?
Yeah.
What you said about if you're in the literacy practicum and you're an early childhood education student,
right?
kind of sounded to me like you were saying you might work with multiple teachers on the same day.
No, no, if that's what I said, or if that's what,
That's what
it
I heard,
sounds
but
like-
I don't know if that's what you said.
No, that's not correct. What
Okay.
what I was saying was, if you were in special education, if you could be with one special education teacher, but you're going to pull multiple groups a day, and if it goes with that literacy band or math and science, then you may get a whole day in with that person. When
Okay.
you go in the grade band, Jared, that's 3 to 5 for the math and science, then you could very well be with that teacher all day, because they teach primarily math and science. That's their content area. Now, the literacy, you just need to check and make sure that the teacher that you're working with, and if you need us to double check, we will, and find out when they do their literacy band. And just like Laura said, literacy doesn't necessarily mean, oh, we're having reading group. It could be a number of different things, but they more than likely are going to do, with the little ones, they most often do that literacy band in the mornings, because that's when the little ones are fresh. So more than likely it would be in the mornings. Now, it could be that the person you're going to be with, he or she does their literacy band every morning, 5 days a week, from 9 to 11 or 11:30. So that means you could technically get 2.5 hours every day in the same classroom with the same teacher.
Okay. And
That
just two follow-up questions, just to make sure I understand things correctly.
Uh-huh.
So that was kind of my impression initially about how all this worked.
Yep.
But then if I'm with a teacher, let's say for my literacy practicum, and let's say they do their literacy band the first 2 hours of the day, I'm still able to stay with that teacher all day if I just want the added experience, right?
If you want the added experience, yes, but it doesn't count toward that practicum.
Understood. And
No, that's up to you. And if that's okay with her, that's up to the two of you. Him, her, is
Okay.
your all decision.
and then the second follow-up question is, so for that math, I didn't realize it was math and science. So if the teacher I'm working with, she does in fact teach math all day, but I think her second subject is social studies, will I have to work with someone else in that grade level to get my science in?
No, I don't think so. You could do math the whole time if you wanted. We just kind of split it that way, because
Okay.
a lot of times, whoever, like Kieran can attest, if you teach math, then oftentimes you'll teach science. So it just kind of lines up in that way. So
Yeah,
if she
that makes
does
sense.
math and social studies, then you can stay for the math component piece of it. And then if you choose to stay for social studies just to get some more experience, then that should work fine, but it wouldn't count toward the practicum hours.
Understood. Thank you for clarifying that for me.
You're welcome.
So I have another practicum question. So I did 4th grade in the spring.
Oh, okay.
So what grade? So it sounded like it was like you target 4th and 5th, and then you want to do younger K to 3, or so if I did 4th, what is the recommended grades to do for my other practicum?
You're doing the literacy one this next time, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's 533. You should be doing 533. That's the one that we want to have the literacy band, and that's specified as K2. Well, we decided that the pre-K, sometimes that's just too much of a stretch to get in that literacy piece that we really want you to have. So the K2 is where you would be for the literacy.
Oh, okay. I didn't
then-
know that. So I know I have to be somewhere in K to 2.
Correct.
Got it.
And so then,
And
since you will have a practicum experience in the grades 4 and 5, and then the K to 2, when you do student teaching, you get a choice as to which one you want
Mhm.
to be in, if you want the older children or the younger children. See, then if you've got the practice in both, then you can choose for your student teaching. If you've only been in one kind of grade level, we've done it that way on purpose so that there is a choice for student teaching.
Mhm. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I just didn't know that. So that makes sense.
What else out there? Anything else feeling unanswered?
Mike's got that big microphone, like he's going to drop the mic at any time. Just he's like, boom.
Boom. So yeah,
I feel so awkward. I feel like it's like 1985 with me and everyone else is in 2020.
Like you're on a talk show or some kind of sport. So tell me, how did that feel when you crossed the finish line? You know,
Deanna.
I do have one more question about, again, I don't have the exact teacher that I'll be working with, but do you guys kind of help, or does Kara tell us when we should contact them?
Yes.
Or, and how that works? Or do we just get a name and then just go at it ourselves, or how does this work?
so
She
what's
should send you I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. She'll send you an email that says, this is the school, this is who you're assigned to, this is the email address, please contact them.
Mhm.
And because she will have honestly just have talked with him or the principal saying that that mentor is okay. So they'll be expecting you to contact them. Yeah. She'll let you know.
And for the mentors, I mean, we've already, I mean, for lack of a better description, we've already checked them out and approved them. So we know who you're going to be with and that they're qualified and that they are excited about you being there. So we've already done that piece too. And if you have any problems when you're in your practicums, call me, text me, and we'll get it taken care of. So.
And with that, again, just, it's a tough semester for teachers. So we know that no place is perfect and that kind of thing. And, sometimes we'll hear from students that, oh, I don't like the way she does this, or this teacher does this, or that kind of thing. And if there's smaller things or things that we can chalk up to the pandemic, we're going to be very graceful with our mentor teachers. If, however, you feel like you're seeing practices day in and day out that are completely at odds with what you're learning in teacher preparation, we need to know that. But other than that, it always takes a little bit of grace. Teaching is much harder than it looks. You guys are finding that out. And I think it's probably much harder than it looks times 10 in a pandemic, maybe times 100. So we want to provide some grace to those mentor teachers. But please, at the same time, do let us know if you feel like you're seeing things that are really, conflicting with what you think are.
And I think the main thing is to remember too, is we're a guest in their school. So, if there's something that's just really bugging you, call me, we can talk about it. You can get it all out to me, and that's fine. And then if it's like Laura said, if it's something minimal or something you can deal with, then you have a limited time. But if it is something major, then yeah, we want to know. And we have made changes in the past, in rare occasions, if things just didn't. I mean, if you come back and say, oh, she's wearing the same pair of pants every day in the week, I'm probably going to say, so. But after this pandemic's over, let me tell you, head lice and pink eye mean nothing to you.
No doubt.
Oh gosh, Kaneetha, that's a great note to end on. If you all are anything like me, you're going to come up with a few good questions about 5 minutes after we finish. If that's the case, please reach out and know that we are happy to answer anything that we can. And we just appreciate you all sticking with it, not just with our program, but with sticking with this profession. The fact that you're being faced with learning how to do this during a pandemic and have not run the other way says a lot about you as people and a lot about you as educators. So thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for sticking with the teaching profession. My hats off to you. Just so pleased that you're doing the good work. And if you need anything, you let us know, okay? Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great semester.
Thank you.
Bye,
Appreciate
everybody.
it.